So, I've always been a very private person. Growing up in acting, I was much more comfortable on stage if I could be someone else. And even in any situation, I was much more likely to crack a joke than open up about myself. So when I started my YouTube channel, it was the same thing. You know, I wasn't going to be sharing everyday intimate details about my life or talk about the people I was dating. I didn't even share my sexual orientation on my channel. And part of this was because of my naturally private inclinations, but it was also because behind the camera, I was struggling with something that I wasn't ready to share with the world yet. But let's back up. I want to show you some of the first videos that I posted to YouTube. So back in 2009, my best friend Kate and I, we started a collab channel to keep in touch while attending college on opposite sides of the country from each other. And we called the channel Jabberwocky and Finch. And yeah, that is me, the blonde one, at age 19, about 8 years ago. Starting to get an idea of what it is I might have been battling behind the scenes. So after that channel, I started another channel, and in between videos about Harry Potter and my eventual series, Will It Waffle, eventually I started making educational videos about LGBTQ+ issues. And I did this because I think it was kind of a coping mechanism for me. You know, I had all of these thoughts that were filling my brain, and I had no one to talk to, so they ended up spilling over onto my YouTube channel in the form of educational, but completely impersonal videos. My channel continued to grow, but behind the scenes, I was growing more and more unhappy. By age 25, I'd reached a point where I couldn't take it anymore. The only way I could imagine ever being happy again was if I began my transition to living openly as male. But starting transition was difficult because now I had this audience online. And when you come out as transgender, it's a little bit different than when you come out as gay. You know, well, not only do people often not really understand what it means, but if you choose to physically transition, to take hormones that will alter your voice and your appearance, people can see that. You know, at a certain point, you can't hide it from your audience. So I had to prepare myself to be more open and vulnerable than I had ever been on my YouTube channel before. I was about to expose my deepest, darkest secrets to this audience that I'd built up over the years, and to my professional network that ran adjacent to my videos. And, you know, it's also the internet, so, you know, anyone could see it. Second cousins, kindergarten teachers, people I'd gone on one Tinder date with. And I also knew that coming out on YouTube would change my channel. I would no longer be just some person making goofy videos about waffles. Now I'd be that trans guy making videos about waffles. And any LGBTQ+ videos I did make would be from a removed, objective perspective. They would now be personal. And even if they weren't personal, personal questions would bombard the comments. The other thing that really got me about coming out as transgender on YouTube was I didn't have a role model for it. At the time, there were plenty of trans people documenting their transitions on YouTube, but they'd all started their channels as openly trans. And the transgender people in my life, you know, the most they'd ever had to come out to was a large family, maybe an entire office building. This is a challenge that we come up against again and again as internet creators. We fall in this weird middle ground between ordinary person and famous person. Compared to traditional media, we lack a support system congruent with our level of influence, which means we're frequently left to navigate these waters on our own. I mean, I have barely 30,000 subscribers. I'm not a big deal. But on the internet, it takes very little attention for someone to start receiving both the good and the bad sides of fame. And once I came out as trans, I realized this tenfold. You know, ironically, opening up meant having to put up more boundaries. For example, aware of the level of influence that I have and how many people follow me online, I think twice about posting so much as a recognizable landmark from my neighborhood. And we all are aware of these pressures, right? Thinking, will this post reveal details about a family member who didn't sign up for this life? Will it offend someone? Will it be taken out of context? Will it give the wrong influence to younger followers? Being a role model is rarely something that we sign up for. But once you have that influence, you're responsible for how you use it, whether or not you want to accept that responsibility. And no matter how responsible and unproblematic you may try to be, there's always going to be haters, right? No matter how tempting, I make it a personal policy to never reply to trolls. And I make no bones about deleting comments either. You leave an ugly comment on my video, It's gone. I don't care. I mean, if someone spray painted a slur on your front door of your house, would you leave it there because washing it off would be censorship? No. My channel is my home. And more so than however I might feel about those comments, I care about what the people watching my videos see. The confused parent searching for answers. The teacher playing my videos in their classroom. And the teenager alone in their bedroom after a day of bullying at school. I want my channel to be an uplifting place for them to feel a little bit better about themselves and not face the hatred that they see everywhere else in the world that they go. And I think about myself at that age. Confused, angry, feeling like I was all alone in the world because I'd never been shown anyone else like me. And I think if I can be that person that I needed then for someone else now, then it starts feeling a little bit less like an obligation that I had to come out and transition publicly. More like a gift. I get to help people with my stupid, goofy videos. And yes, sometimes it's hard, and it's overwhelming, and it's isolating. But so far, it's been worth it. Thank you.